around again there, right? I would observe him roll. I would be over there, protect guarding on that side. Just come over close to me. And he rolls to the left, right? Come back again. Is that how you really roll? Okay, so I observe him roll. So this is my functional assessment. I'm looking for the big 8, so I observe first. Observation is the first part of my functional assessment. When I look at that, and then I see, what do we see when Michael rolls? Do it again. What do we see? He has a lot of anterior. Right, do it again. We're looking, when we're rolling, what are we focusing on? We're looking at the big 8 first, right? But when we're looking at how he does the task, what are 2 areas we're looking at primarily? The scapula and the pelvis, right? Those are 2 arcs of motion that we're facing. So we see Michael roll, and what do we see with him? Shoulder. He's what? He is highly shoulder dominant, right? He's highly shoulder dominant. Do it again. Look, and I stopped him mid, but that's where he was, right? His shoulder's all the way around before he's even anywhere near getting the scapular going, getting the pelvis going. But you can see he actually does. Do it again. Right? If you pause him right here, you can see the scapular is doing a little bit of an anterior depression relatively. So he's not really going up, he's going anterior depression, and his pelvis is going to anterior elevation. The pelvis is just significantly delayed. Right? That's what we're looking for. Do it again. Anterior depression first, anterior elevation comes second. Okay? With rolling, we want it to be a little bit blend in between. Because if he was really weak lower, do it again, like that becomes a little bit harder for him to move, okay? So I observe it, I look for the big 8, nothing really stands out. Assist level, he's probably he's independent, right? And I break the task down, it looks like he has a little bit of difficulty in the beginning, early phase, and then with anterior elevation of the pelvis. Make sense? So that's my functional assessment right there. Okay? Observe for the big 8. Alright, don't see anything else. No basic ganglion, no cerebellum. Don't really see any synergies. I don't really see any true compensations. I see, because he's not really compensated, he just has a delayed lead for anterior elevation of that pelvis. Make sense? Functional assessment there. If I want to add my orthopedic onto there, I can do my stabilization stuff there, okay? But we don't need to add that on for our class. Make sense? Everyone on the same page. So what do I do next? I did my screen. What? I say, okay, for Neuro, for the rest of our class, we're going to do, if we identified it was anterior elevation of the pelvis, we have to do our range of motion and motor breakout. Because I'm doing Neuro, because I'm doing for my Neuro components, okay? So I want to try, so if I want to do anterior elevation of the pelvis, where should my face be? Same thing we just did. How you lie on your side, face that way. Okay? And the same thing that we just did, okay? We're going to assess anterior elevation, okay? I make sure I line up with my hips, face that way. He has a little tight hips. I get a sense for how he's going. I want to work on anterior elevation, anchor 1/2, second one IT, and I just say, hey, check my range of motion, okay? So I'm doing it slowly, assess that end feel, come back neutral, and I do it fast to see what's going on, right? Makes sense, right? I already looked right at end feel, I can tell there's muscle shortness, there's scapular, whatever's going on with that head, but it's fast, specifically slow for rigidity. That's my range of motion assessments right there, okay? Make sense? Any questions there? That's my range of motion breakout. So now I say, okay, so in my part of my Neuro breakout, since I'm going to my neuromotor breakout, okay? So I say, hey, do you feel this motion here? Can you do that motion for me? Okay, I'm looking for any cerebellum issues, there's ganglion issues, same big issues, substitution synergies, nothing really stands out, right? His range of motion appears to be the same level that I was getting passively, right? So passively I was getting into here. Actively, he's getting into there, right? So I'm saying, okay, that makes sense. Okay. I said, hey, can you bring this hip up to your elbow? That seems to improve. External cue help. So do I stop right there? No, I keep going, right? So I add a little bit of stability. Drop down to it again. That didn't help. Might have made things worse. Okay? Because it didn't help, I do have to do my motor cue. No, I just keep going, okay? I palpate my agonist, right? And my antagonist, do that again, right? Seems to be turning on pretty well. Do that one more time. Turn on pretty well. And then come up there. Hold that up there. Don't let it bring you down. Same position that we just practiced, right? Don't let it pull you down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it again. Do it again. Hold that up there. Don't let it pull you down. 1, 2, 3. I start seeing some compensations happening over there. So maybe it could be just a little bit of true weakness. And just going through. That's my motor breakout right there. Okay? The same thing that we've been doing from the beginning, except now we're biasing it to anterior elevation and pelvis. That's it.